So a while back, my buddy Stuart recommended a game to me called A Short Hike. Stuart being the guy who's basically been carrying the Smash Bros. Playthrough throughout the month. For anyone who's been following No Sonic November. He's really good at Smash Bros, and he's really good at finding a good game to check out, because I really enjoyed A Short Hike. It was released in 2019 on quite the number of platforms, which honestly did surprise me. I initially thought this was just a game on Steam. There is something kind of interesting about playing a game with a DS aesthetic on the PlayStation 4. But there are some really beautiful portions of this game that I think could play out on the big screen just fine. Visually, this game is just breathtaking. It's going for a somewhat pixelated look, but with tons of detail and bright colors, sometimes mixed in a way where it just looks like you're looking at a watercolor painting. It's just a treat to look at. The music is also really nice and relaxing, and it's set up in a way that's pretty cool too, where each track takes up a different portion of the island. There really is no loading into another area in this game. The entire map can be accessed without needing to stop and load, so the music just transitions depending on where you're at, and it does it pretty seamlessly. The characters all have relatively simple but cute designs, and the design of the island itself is pretty cozy. And I think that's a word that describes this game best. Cozy. It is a very relaxing and comforting game to play, that you can either spend 1 hour completing, or if you want to 100% everything, maybe 3 to 4. It's a very short game, as the title might imply, but it kind of reminds me of early Animal Crossing games, where there's only so much you can do, but with the combination of the visuals, the characters' dialogue, the music, you're okay with a somewhat repetitive experience, as you just let yourself get immersed in this world. It's that same feeling that makes me prefer the GameCube Animal Crossing to New Horizons, a game that objectively gives you more to do, but just lacks some of the personality of the original to me. A Short Hike is full of personality. Nothing that's going to challenge you deeply in terms of gameplay or story, but still a lot of personality as you explore the island, learn some of the tourists' problems, or even just what they're up to that day. With all these little interactions, there is a goal at the end of the game, which is reaching the top of a cliff. One, because it's apparently lovely up there and most of the tourists make an effort to climb up to the top. Spoilers, it's not exaggerated, it's genuinely the most beautiful location in the game. And two, because your character is expecting a phone call and the top of the cliff might be the only place where any service will exist on the island. This phone call is one that our main character is very nervous about, and that's really the only dilemma in this game. So just like playing this game might be a nice break from whatever you have going on, it's a break for the main character. I mean, I guess that's what taking a nice hike in real life is supposed to do. Maybe I should consider it. As for accomplishing this goal, it is impossible to do this right off the bat because you need to collect feathers. Feathers that one by one will help your flying, climbing, and running abilities. You can definitely speedrun this part, as a lot of the feathers can just be found in hidden places on the island, but you can also obtain them by interacting with other characters, either by doing small favors for them, or just going on a mini adventure with them. This ranges from trying out a new sport one of them invented, to going on a boat ride. Just whatever you do, do not go off the ramp. Go off the ramp, it's my favorite part of the whole game. Gathering these feathers alone and seeing all of your abilities slowly improve is a ton of fun. There's a lot of opportunities to mess around with the controls as you start to collect these, and create shortcuts for yourself on exploring the island. Or just see how far you can get with just a couple of feathers. You can make it to the end of the game with like 20 feathers where getting to the top of the cliff will be a breeze. Or you can really try to challenge yourself by only getting a couple of them. It's doable, but it's not easy. My only gripe with this game, and this is a good gripe to have in my opinion, is I wanted more of it. By the time I was done, I was enjoying the experience so much that I didn't want it to be over yet. I appreciate the simplicity of this game for sure, but I almost wish this game was just day one of an even bigger game. I would be so open to a sequel where there was like 3 to 5 days instead of just one. I know maybe for some people this premise doesn't seem like enough to carry a longer game, but I don't know, make each day have a new climbing challenge to work towards. There's a marathon being built up throughout the entire game that we never get to see since it's a few days away and this game only explores one day of the trip. That could be a neat thing to see on a different day. That could be a climax to the game. Based on which characters you interact with, they could have some follow-up interactions on the next day. Make it so you can grow a really strong bond with some of them if you interact with them every day, or if you fail to interact with other characters, you might end up doing their day 1 task on day 4. That would make your decisions feel like they carry a lot more weight to them. But I'm well aware that is asking a lot. I'm essentially asking them to more than double the workload they had for this game. I love A Short Hike for what it is. My only argument would be it's a good enough game to do more with it. You can make a sequel or DLC that I would purchase 100%. As for looking at it for what it is though, I absolutely love it. I already cleared it twice and I'm sure I'll clear it several more times. It's a short game, but it only costs $8 on Steam. I would say it's worth its price. Consider checking this one out. Maybe it'll charm you over as much as it did for me.